who is having a fantastic game. Let him ride, dude. Let him ride. He's a big boy. He's in great shape. He can handle it. But D-Mac was just convinced that Game 5 was blown by David Adelman. That David Adelman blew Game 5 because he pressed the guys and he didn't trust the young guns. And I admit, we had a hell of a debate about whether David Adelman should have trusted Julian Strother, even trusted Jalen Pickett, whatever, Payton Watson. And I'm like, hey, these dudes haven't shown up all year long. Why would you trust them in the playoffs? D-Mac's argument was you just got to trust the guys. You just got to trust them. And I didn't think it made a whole lot of sense, but damn to D-Mac have an I told you so moment in Game 6. And I hate it when he's got that because it's not fun when D-Mac's got an I told you so moment, but he got his I told you so moment because David Adelman did do something different in Game 6. And when they got that 8-point lead, he sat down Jamal Murray. He sat down Nikola Jokic. He gave them some rest going into the fourth quarter. And Julian Strother had the best game of his career. Julian Strother ends up just draining three-pointer after three-pointer, ends up with 15 points on 20 minutes. And what was cool is that when they got to the break there, and it would have been really easy to pull Julian Strother out of the game, David Adelman was like, no, let's let it ride. The dude's hot. Let's leave him on the court, and let's see how far this thing can go. We've probably gotten the best out of Michael Porter Jr. that we can anyways. MPJ, I guess, ends up having an okay game with 10 points on 29 minutes, gets 4 rebounds. But Julian Strother won that game for the Denver Nuggets. And I got to give David Adelman credit because I don't know if Michael Malone would have done it. Michael Malone loves his veterans, you know, and I love Michael Malone, so I'm not trying to take shots at Michael Malone at all. But I do think that David Adelman won the job last night. David Adelman is in all likelihood going to be the Denver Nuggets' future head coach because he got this team to Game 7 against Oklahoma City. Win or lose in Game 7, my opinion, David Adelman has done enough. And he did differentiate himself from Michael Malone in Game 6. Michael Malone would have played Russell Westbrook 35 minutes. Maybe not 35, whatever. You get the point. Michael Malone would not have trusted Julian Strother to play 20 minutes. And even if he would have gotten a couple three-pointers going into the fourth, I bet he sits him down and he doesn't let it ride. Again, I'm not trying to take shots at Michael Malone because I love Michael Malone. And there's still a part of me that thinks Michael Malone got a raw job. I know a lot of you guys don't agree with it. That's fine. David Adelman's awesome. I love David Adelman. I'm glad he's the coach, and he should be the coach of the Denver Nuggets moving forward because he proved he's willing to be his own man. And he lets Julian Strother ride. He leaves Payton Watson in the game. Julian ends up hitting all his three-pointers. Payton Watson ends up getting that big block in the fourth quarter, and Ball Arena goes absolutely nuts. Ball Arena was exploding because of the young guns and Julian Strother and Payton Watson and what they were able to do with their contributions. And it doesn't always have to be scoring. Payton Watson can contribute in ways that are not scoring. Payton ends up with 4 points, but he also gets 3 rebounds, gets that big block, and it's the timing, it's the impact. Those guys were incredible. And I don't know if they will be given as many opportunities in Game 7. Game 7 is a do-or-die game, and when you get in do-or-die games, I mean, Game 6 was do-or-die as well, so I don't know. I guess technically speaking, I don't know what the difference is. But I do know in Game 7, a lot of times coaches are just going to trust their vets, much like Michael Malone does. But will David Adelman stick to his guns? Will he prove that he's a different coach than Michael Malone? Will he trust the young guns in Game 7? And can these Denver Nuggets upset Oklahoma City? Look, when the Nuggets beat the Clippers, most people on the station were like, yeah, probably OKC in 5, OKC in 6 games. Nobody was really giving the Nuggets a chance to beat Oklahoma City, certainly on a national stage and really not here locally either. The Nuggets have been phenomenal, and Nikola Jokic is on the brink of doing the most incredible thing he's done in his entire career and carrying this Denver Nuggets team to 2 playoff victories without a head coach and without a GM and really without a bench. Yeah, Julian Schuyler was incredible last night, but they've played without a bench. That's what this Nuggets team has done. And Nikola Jokic is about to carry this team past Oklahoma City. I hope, I think. Look, I'm crossing my fingers because my gut tells me, excuse me, let me get rid of all this spit you guys got to look at. My gut tells me Oklahoma City is probably a year or two removed from where they think they are right now, meaning they think they're battle tested, meaning they think they've gone through all the trials and the tribulations that they need to go win a championship this season. But in reality, Oklahoma City has not been tested this year. Oklahoma City has not been in the Game 7. Oklahoma City only had 9 games, don't quote me on that, I think it was 9 games that were decided by 9 points or less the entire year. They just didn't have close games. They blew everybody out. And I think they bypassed or they missed out on the opportunity to learn from some trials and tribulations that I'm banking on this Denver Nuggets team with this veteran leadership that they've got, who have been to the mountaintop, they've been to the pinnacle, they've won the championship, they've won Game 7s, they know how to go through this. I'm banking on the veteran experience of the Denver Nuggets being enough to get them past Oklahoma City in Game 7. It ain't going to be easy, man. And I have no idea if the Nuggets can actually win the game or not, but I do think that they will. My gut tells me Oklahoma City is probably a year or two away from a championship, and they probably need a really big letdown, like losing to the Denver Nuggets, before they're quite ready to go win a championship. I don't know if the Nuggets can win a championship, even if they get past Oklahoma City, but it certainly clears up. Man, Minnesota's always a tough matchup for the Nuggets, but you look at what's going on the other side of the bracket, and shoot, Cleveland's out. Boston's struggling. Are we afraid of the Knicks? I don't know, man. I mean, I see a path for the Nuggets to actually win a championship this year. It's crazy. Get past OKC. Minnesota's always going to be a really, really tough matchup. They were built to beat the Denver Nuggets. Tim Connolly hand-built the Minnesota team to beat the Denver Nuggets. I don't know if Minnesota is as good against every other team in the NBA as they are against the Nuggets, but they're a hell of a matchup against the Nuggets. But I'll tell you this, Minnesota's not as good as Oklahoma City. They're not. So if you could find a way to win Game 7, I think the Nuggets got a chance to do something pretty magical this year. Look, the Nuggets have got 2 days of rest here, which is huge. Them boys are tired. Them boys are exhausted. And for the first time, they're getting 2 days rest. Now, I know Oklahoma City gets 2 days rest as well, but they're a much deeper team, and they just don't have as many miles on their body as the Nuggets do. The concern for the Nuggets is injury and health. First off, hopefully Jamal Murray gets over whatever illness he's dealing with. But then the other big concern is Aaron Gordon. At the end of the fourth quarter there with just a minute and a half to play, Gordon pulls up a little bit lame on that hammy. We all saw it. They zoomed in on his hamstring. He's holding that thing. He does end up finishing out the game, but there wasn't a whole lot of time left on the clock, and Aaron Gordon's been nursing stuff all year long. It's been that right calf for the entirety of the season, but a lot of times when you've got a right calf, well, now you're overcompensating on the left leg, and you get it up towards the glute, you get it up towards the hamstring, and that's my concern. Has he just been overcompensating for that right calf so much? Did that hammy pop on him? I don't know. I hope not. Much like I would have bet the house that Jamal Murray was not going to miss Game 6, I would bet the house that Aaron Gordon's not going to miss Game 7. Funny how your body finds a way to get healthy enough to play when the season's on the line. All I know is I'm fired up. Ball Arena was an incredible environment. The Denver Nuggets have already done something magical this playoffs, and in my opinion, David Adelman has done enough to win the job as the Denver Nuggets head coach. And that's saying a lot, man, because when you blow out the GM and the head coach at the same time, it's extremely unusual. I don't care what sport it is. It's extremely, extremely unusual to promote from within. Because when you blow out the GM and the head coach, you're saying nothing is right in this building. This thing is toxic. We got to blow it up. We got to go outside. If you retain the GM, all right, you promote from within. That makes sense. But David Adelman, I believe, is about to steal that job under the most difficult circumstances when everything was going to be telling the Cronkies to go outside that building before the playoffs began. So, look, man, it ain't over. I will be broadcasting live, I hope, for Game 7. So you guys can jump onto Mount Polumbus Speaks and hang out with me during Game 7. If I'm not broadcasting live, I'm going to go hang out at Stoney's at the watch party with Altitude Crew. So you can either catch me there or you can catch me live right here on the watch party. Again, shout out to Safeway. Make sure you guys head on over to Safeway. Get ready for all your Memorial Day needs. They got all your grilling needs. Get them T-bone steaks, that corn on the cob, anything you might need, maybe some wood pellets for the smoker. They've got everything you need right there in the store. Fresh fruit, local flavors. Check them out, Safeway.com. All right, make sure you subscribe to Mount Polumbus Speaks on the YouTube channel. If you've not already, hit that link in my bio on X. Head on over to YouTube, hit subscribe. It'll take you total 3 seconds. Make sure you don't miss out on any of my content. Be back with you guys soon.